Woo! Claw has chosen. Farewell, my friends.
Come on.
I'm off to a better place.
Come on, baby. Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Ain't that some shit?
Come on. Woo! Come on, baby. Oh my God.
What were you like in high school? My brother could tell you. What was I like in high school? Confused? Okay. I wasn't like anything in high school. I just knew that I was obsessed with my girlfriend at the time. I would skip school a lot. I would ask my brother to come pick me up at lunchtime and he would take me home. I'd wake him up like an hour or two before he needed to wake up for work and he would be so pissed not having your own. Oh, I mean, my brother would be the first one to tell you that I was not ready for a driver's license. He would agree with my parents that I was not ready to drive. And I'm still, now I have Finn. Still aren't. Okay. I drove with my brother once and dude, he scared the shit out of me. Like I would be driving fine. He'd be like, watch out, you're gonna hit that. Don't park. Like he would freak out. Like the slightest, anything I did, if I like turned a little, like when I remember I went to park the car and I like rolled up to the sidewalk, like to do the thing. And he was like, you're gonna hit the pole. And I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, that is exactly what happened. That was in front of Baystone, okay? And then one time he let me drive in Buffalo, okay? When we lived at my grandmother's house. And I was gonna turn. Oh my God. Okay. So I pull up, I like drive into I go into the church parking lot. It was like me, him, and it was like two of our cousins. And I'm pulling up and I'm trying to like turn around. And there's like these group of kids like against the gate doing who knows what. And I'm trying to like turn the car and I see them and I'm not gonna hit them. I know I'm not gonna hit them. And he's like, what are you doing? Like there's people right there. And I was like, I see them. And the headlights are like, beep. Like right in their face and they're just like, but I saw them and I wasn't gonna hit them. I knew what I needed to do, but he was like yelling at me. I was not going full speed. I turn the car around and then I go the other way. And that street, you can either go left or right. You can't go, there's houses. In the house, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna turn around. So what I do is, in my mind, I was like, I'm just gonna drive into this person's driveway and then I'm gonna reverse and turn around. Like that's what I was gonna do. People do that all the time in Buffalo. Like that, they always do that. Like people used to pull into our driving spot all the time to like back up or whatever. So this house that I pulled into, we know them. It was Ricky's house or Scotty's. It was one of their houses. Okay. I think it was Ricky's house. So I pull up to the driveway and he's like, why are you parking in someone else's driveway? And he's just yelling at me and everyone's freaking out. And I'm like, I'm just gonna back up. Like I lost it. I couldn't, he scared the shit out of me, man. Actually scared the shit out of me. And he was like, there's people behind us trying to park. And I'm like, that's not for us. It's because I had the reverse on. I had the reverse. I was going reverse. And so I had the you were in their kitchen. No, I wasn't. I was not. Oh my God. And so I go to back up, I'm put that shit in reverse. I look behind us and I lightly let go of the gas. Okay. I'm lightly letting go. I can't see. There's trees. And so I look back and a car was coming and I see it, I see it. So I'm going to the brake and they're like, there's a car coming. And I'm like, I know. Like, I lost it. I couldn't, I was freaking out and then he's freaking out. Our cousins in the backseat. They're like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh my God, never again. I lost it. I mentally checked out. I was done. Dude, my brother is a terror. And you know what's crazy is like my brother was always the one who got me out of situations. My brother was always the one who had my back. I remember one time my iPod got stolen and I was scared that my parents were going to get mad at me. So I call him and he drives up and he's got a bat. He drives up to the party with a bat. It was so good. Oh my god. We got the iPod back though. I'll tell you that. We got the iPod back. My brother wasn't fucking around. I got it back. It wasn't mine, but I got an iPod back. And I was like, this isn't even mine. I'll take it. Not nearly as in control as she is making it sound. In my mind, I knew what I was doing. Like, I knew, like, hey, you gotta be careful. Like, there's gonna be cars coming. Check behind you. Don't floor it. And they're over here like, she doesn't know what she's doing. She's gonna hit those kids. She's in their kitchen. And I was like, I knew what I was doing. I was at a party with one of my friends, like one of my best friends. We were all underage. And these group of guys they brought alcohol. So you know they're like 21. And it was really weird because we were like maybe 15, 16, maybe. I mean, they were probably older, but I know that they were at least 21 because they had alcohol. So we were drinking, and honestly, like, I didn't really, if I'm not mistaken, I think I just grabbed beers. Like, I was just drinking like a beer because as some people would probably tell you that I was a bad kid. I didn't really drink. Like, I didn't drink to get drunk. Like, I didn't understand it. So I held on to a beer for something. Anyway, music got too loud. And I remember at the beginning, before like the party had started, I put my iPod on a speaker. So like the girls, we were all getting ready and we were listening to music. I noticed, a few hours go by, I don't hear my music anymore. Music sounded like that. So I go into the bathroom where it was. I noticed it's not there anymore. And I was like, all right, this isn't good. So I text my brother. I was like, hey, someone stole my iPod. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was either the second time or the first time. Parts of me think this is the first time. I think this is the first time it happened. Or maybe it was the second, because this time he brought a bat. Anyway, so the cops show up, and they're like, how old are you guys? Like, what are you guys doing here? And like, we're all sitting on the ground. There's no furniture in the place. I just realized now that I think about it, there was no furniture. So we're all just sitting there on the floor, and people are getting taken away. And then my brother shows up, and I was like, hey, that dude. And I remember he was a big dude. He was kind of big. And my brother was like, hey man, like, I'm just here to get back her iPod. Like, and I'm almost positive my brother had a friend with him. I'm almost positive my brother brought Mike with you. I think you brought Mike with you, Big Mike. And he was like, hey man, we just want the iPod back. Like, we don't want any trouble. Mike's in the back. Mike is sitting there like, and so they brought me back an iPod. And it turns out my friend told me, who had the party, she was like, yeah, they stole everyone's iPod. Like, you're the only one who got yours back. And I was like, well, I ain't fucking around. Hell no. So we got it back, but it wasn't mine. It was someone else's, which at that point I just wiped it. That's easy. As long as I got an iPod back, He's like, I don't want no trouble, but one of your friends took my sister's iPod and I'm getting it back. Like, he's like, I'm gonna get it back. And I remember being in the back seat like, oh shit. Like, what's about to happen? That's it. Yeah, Giga Chad for sure. My brother wasn't fucking around because fake IDs don't exist. Well, but they looked older. I know like fake IDs exist, but like, I mean, these guys, like, even if you're 13 or 14, there's no way they were our age because they just looked too old. Like, I could see them being maybe 18, 19 with a fake ID. I could see that, but they definitely weren't our age. They weren't. They definitely weren't. Like, they were like, oh my gosh, at that party, there was this girl, one of the girls, and then like one of the guys, and this guy from like whoever came over, and then like one of our girlfriends, they went into this closet, or like he took her into this closet, and all his buddies were guarding the door. It was the weirdest thing ever. Like, I walked up to the door to like knock. I was like, hey, you okay? And then like they were like, don't go in. Like, no, like, get away. I was like, what the frick? It was so weird. It was weird. I remember that. I remember like clear as day. It was like a giant, because I remember later they came out, and then like everyone left. Like, everyone left like the room, and it was like me and then like Monica and like two other girls. We were just like hanging out in the closet. We were like, I want to get away from this. Like, screw this. Like, so we're just sitting there like sipping our beers, like just trying to get away from everything. And I was like, oh my god. But it's weird because in my mind, like when I think about it, I didn't know what they were doing. I just remember being like, that's weird. Like, why are they in there, and why are they blocking it? Like, that's really weird. Like, what if they're playing, like, I want to play a board game, like, I didn't know. I had no idea what they were doing. My brother would confirm it with you guys. Like, I genuinely didn't know those things. Like, anything sexual, anything like that, I really didn't know. It just never, I didn't know what any of it meant.